Alrighty there. If you are ready, I kindly ask that you shout my name, and we'll go ahead and get started tonight. Alright, chat, let me know you're out there. If you can hear me, let me know. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and get started then. Welcome to the next decade. Welcome back. I hope y'all are doing well. I wanted to apologize about last week. I know I missed it. I've just been having a lot of technical issues with trying to get my bird's eye camera working, and it's just decided it does not want to work. So, in the meantime, I'm going to try and get that working so we can have our 3 camera setup again, but I've been told you guys really like having me a little bit closer to the camera, so I brought you guys a little bit closer to me, and then I switched up the close-up camera just a little bit. Just trying to make something a little bit better for you guys to watch. I want to thank y'all for coming in. I really appreciate y'all coming back to watch again. It really does mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. If you like what I do and you want to support it, go check that ticker, go check the description down below, go hit up that super chat. Super chat's a really great way to get a hold of me quickly. Sometimes I miss the chat because I'm either busy doing something here or rambling about something. So if you really want to get my attention, like right away, super chat's a good way to do it. So on top of me not having the bird's eye camera working last week, I got super busy. Your boy got a job. Now, it's not like a full-time gig, like, hey, I'm getting healthcare and stuff like that. No, it's a contract thing, but, so far, so good. And I'm hoping it works out well. I got a couple other things I gotta do for it, but until it releases, I gotta stay tight-lipped. So if I'm not around, just assume I'm really busy working on that. Okay? Cool. Now, if you guys haven't, I'd really appreciate it if you guys can go check that survey that I just dropped in the chat, or it should be dropping in the chat any second now. That's going to help me make this show better for all of you. It would really mean a lot for me if you just went and filled that out. Anything on there that you like, you don't like, tell me. Let me know. I want to make this show better for everybody that wants to watch it. As close to better as I can get for everybody that wants to watch it, at least. Last thing is that Patreon. I was supposed to have my first Patreon private stream on Thursday this week. Again, I had some more technical issues that thankfully I've solved, and it's all thanks to Windows putting in new drivers that nobody asked for that were actually behind on updates and not current on updates. So that's what threw me off entirely and messed up a lot of things for Thursday. So we've moved the Thursday Patreon stream to Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. I'm not quite sure about the time, but I can guarantee it's probably going to be after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be for all patrons. If you're on Patreon and you just want to jump in on those streams, $1 is all you need to get in there. And it's going to be mostly me just doing cosplay work like I kind of do here. But it's a lot less like a show and more so just hanging out with me while I'm working on stuff. And through that, if you are one of my patrons that needs help with stuff, you can be in that private chat and just drop in and be like, hey, I need help. And I'll be like, all right, cool, let's go. And I'll drop everything and help you. So if you're a cosplayer and you want to get into this kind of stuff, I highly recommend you come check out the private stream when it goes live on Tuesday. Okay, cool. So one last thing about Patreon. If you go check out my Patreon right now and you are a Patreon supporter, go fill out the survey that's on there. That survey is going to help me make the streams even better for you guys. I'm trying to find the right day for it. Tuesday isn't going to be our permanent day, but it's going to be our backup day if we end up doing a different day of the week. I want to make sure we always have a backup day, so if something comes up, because like that's just my schedule, like things pop up and I have to go take care of it. And sometimes I can't be here right when I want to stream, which sucks, but to mitigate that, I'm trying to find other days of the week and other times during the week where I can do these kind of streams. So, with all that being said, we're done with all that. Let's get this note crap out of the way. How y'all been doing? How's chat been doing? What's up, Ferb? It's good to see you. Eee! Good to see you, too. Skyhound, thank you for coming. Kiss Fanatic, I really appreciate you being in here, too. Looks like we have a fun little group in here tonight. Hope you guys have been doing well. Like, I've just been stressed, and I've been trying to, like, just hold it together as best I can without losing my mind. But, some really cool stuff's coming up, and I can't wait to share it with you all. And then there's a lot of stuff that, like, things are happening, but I'm not sure what exactly is happening. Some people are doing some things and being extremely tight-lipped about it. But that's okay, because that means I get to be surprised for once, too. And that's always a nice change of pace. Jade Crick, so the newest 01. So we're going to talk about our newest rule in the chat. We do not talk about the newest episodes of any tokusatsu show. If it's just aired this weekend or like an hour ago, we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it at all. We don't do it. I'm even cautious about talking about stuff that happened last week. So if you guys are really interested in me doing like a spoiler cast in the future, I'd be more than willing to do it. But when it comes to my streams, I really don't want to talk about spoiler stuff. Now, if we're talking about older shows like everything Zio and before, I have no problem talking about it. If we're talking about stuff that happened early on in Zio, I have no problem talking about it. But if it's happened in the last week or 2 or 3, nah, sorry, man. And the sole reason why is that I want this to be a place where everyone can come in and I have to worry about that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, I want to talk about 01. But I also haven't seen the newest episode because I was in the middle of setting all this up when when it aired, so I missed it. But I know something big happened. So I'll say this. The newest episode looks exciting. Good enough? Good enough. All right. So, other than that, if there's another show I would like to talk about very, very, very briefly, that Ultraman Z. Ooh, or Zet. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get it right, but man, it's been so long since I've wanted to watch Ultraman, and it's been so long since I've been... Actually, I think this is the first Ultraman I've watched week to week since it started, which is different for me. It was really good. I'm really excited. One of my favorite monsters from Ultraman showed back up. Well, not really monsters, it's a robot, but still. One thing about it, though, that is starting to bother me, and this is just something I've noticed as somebody that's been really giving Ultraman more time and trying to focus on it and learn more about it. Ultraman Zet's a lot of fun. If it's your first Ultraman, I can see it being super, super enjoyable. But if it's not your first Ultraman and you've seen a lot of all the other Ultra stuff, there are so many little things in there that are super, super exciting for the hardcore fans. So it's very rare that you can find a show that can cater to the newbies, but also give people like a really, really, really solid, like look back at the old stuff. Like, it's good. It's really good. If you guys aren't really an Ultraman person, go check out Zet. You might really like it. Guyford. Guyford is a really, really old one. If I remember correctly, I got canceled a little bit early, but I like the costume. It felt very Ultra, but also very Keita and Mamiya. Did he work on that? Not sure. I'd have to look it up. Yeah, I've been watching Rider week to week since, 2009. Oh my god, I'm old. Okay, existential crisis aside, yeah, I've been watching this stuff for a long time, and now that I think about it, probably longer than 2009, because, well, not week to week, when I wasn't watching Power Rangers and all the other American adaptations of stuff, we would get tapes from some tape stores that weren't like Hollywood Video that would have like tokusatsu episodes on it with some really bad dubs or some really horrible Hong Kong subs. And like, now that I think about it, I think I had a Gavon soft vinyl toy as a kid. I think I got it as a birthday present as a Silver Power Ranger, which made no sense because it didn't look anything like a Silver Power Ranger, but there we go. And then I saw it again recently. I'm like, hold on, that's Gavon. I don't have any Gavon stuff. What? So, yeah, there's that. Furbus says, Ultra's been so good. I got a friend into Ultra with the show, with only having to send them to Don's History of Ultraman video before. Oh yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out over on Marco Satsu's channel, I can't say his name of his channel, we gotta figure this out. Marco Satsu's channel, there's a History of Ultraman. If you guys haven't checked that out, and you haven't seen anything of the original Ultraman at all, go check it out. I really encourage it. It's a pretty darn good video and well put together by my buddy Don. Speak of the devil. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Welcome to the show. I appreciate y'all coming in. All right, so all right, we got a little bit of Toku Talk out all the way. Talked about all the Patreon stuff. We're talking about how we're not doing spoilers anymore. Aquatics, good to see you, dude. Thank you so much for coming in. Always appreciate seeing you. Let's talk about some of my newer ventures. Well, not really newer, but, you know, last time I talked about how my 3D printer was working again. And I decided I wanted to go down memory lane and look at some of my old prints when they were still working before it broke. And then I want to show you guys some of the new stuff. And then we're going to work on something off of one of these prints. Because one of these 3D models that I printed, it's mine. I made it. And I'm so excited to share it with you because I'm not actually going to share the 3D model. We're going to do something else with it. So let's go ahead and get into it. I want to share with you the first thing I ever printed on that 3D printer just to see if it would work. No benchies, no nothing. Can I get a baby Dan in the chat for Gridman? This is Gridman from SSSS Gridman, the newer anime. But it's the only thing it's missing is his little mohawk deal. Check that out, chat. Isn't that neat? It's the first thing I ever printed, and it came out really, really well. It does have some under extrusion issues, which is, you know, just par for the course for my printer, but I'm getting that fixed here pretty soon. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. So here, we're going to put Gridman over here for now for just a moment so y'all can get a good peek on him while I chat about it. But yeah, it has some under extrusion. What under extrusion is that if you have a printer that uses a Bowden tube, and what a Bowden tube is just a tube that the filament gets pushed through so it goes into the nozzle. That's it. There's a little motor that pushes the filament in, and sometimes it'll slip or it won't grab the filament all the way, and it won't push the filament through the hot end of the nozzle, and it won't push enough filament through to fill up those gaps. It'll just come through empty. That's what under extrusion is, and that's what this one has. Now, that's a big problem with my printer, and I'm trying to get it fixed so that I could do big prints again. Now, if I do smaller prints, I have no problem with extrusion, but larger prints needs better grip, needs better tension, needs to be able to push through a lot of plastic quickly. Because I use larger nozzles and I have a large build plate. If you can't tell, this is all one print. There's nothing about that isn't. Yeah. So, I'm excited because I want to do some stuff with this. Problem is that the way that it's designed, it's almost as if like this whole helmet that's on the outside got shrunk and put a little bit on the inside. So this inside hole is really small and like impossible to get on. Like I can't. It's not happening. Like I can't even get the crown of my head through there. So it's a bummer. But the cool thing about it is that if I ever want to work on like stuff for the new Gridman show that's coming out, I can start here as a base. So that's exciting. The next thing I printed on this printer was a little bit more familiar to a lot of you, I'm sure. And I think I've shared this one a few times, but this model's actually not very good. I mean, the print came out pretty okay, all things considered, but the model itself, I found better versions of it. But this is a Kamen Rider Ichigo half mask. I don't have the rest of it. I don't know what happened to the rest of it. I tried to print it. Could not find the file. It just disappeared off of my SD card. Can't find it on my computer. Could not remember the scale I printed this thing out at. So I never actually got around to reprinting this one, which is a bummer. But it's okay. It's a neat one. I like it. But lots of layer shifts, lots of ghosting and stuff like that. And this is also back when I did not realize that I could be printing these things with a lot less plastic and make them just as durable. So let's go ahead and put this one away. Maybe we'll look at it again later. Maybe. So I want to show you guys the last thing I printed before my computer completely died and... not my computer, my printer died. So this is the last thing I printed before my printer died back in 2018. And this is a Ryusol Red mask. Of some of these files you can find on Thingiverse. That Ichigo mask I just showed you all a minute ago, you can find it on CG Trader. I think it's available for $3. The model isn't perfect. There's still a lot of things wrong with it and a lot of work you'd have to do on them, but they're not bad. There's a lot of $3 files on CG Trader, so if you have like $9 or $12, you can get all the really cheap Rider 3D print models and you can make your own. This one right here, though, I think I found this one on Thingiverse. But yeah, take a look at this. It's not bad. It's a pretty good half mask. It had some delamination on the chin, so I never ended up using it. Also, I feel like the size of it's just like ever so slightly too small. Like, it fits me, but I don't think it would fit other people. Plus, it seems really small on my head in general. I feel like it just needs, like, maybe another ½ inch and some padding to really make it feel like, you know, what it should be. But who cares? It's Soldier. I'm gonna get in some fights on this stream one day, I swear. So, let me take a quick little peek, see, make sure I don't have any of my other old prints still sitting around. Nope, not looking like it. So here, I'm gonna take a quick look at the chat and see if I missed anything while I was rambling there. Glad you guys are liking this. I'm glad you guys are looking at the 3D prints. Decade Truck asks, what do you think of Saber's gimmick? I really do like the idea of putting the roleplay toy inside the belt. I think that's a really neat idea. Downside is I don't like how small the roleplay toys are, so this is a weird middle ground of, I love the idea, I'm not sure how I feel about the execution. But, as far as the books go, I'm still not quite sold on them yet. I feel like I wish they did more. But I'm still excited about the show. I'm optimistic. That's the thing about Kamen Rider is that it's never really the gimmick or the belt or anything else like that that really gets me excited. It's the story, it's the show, it's the message that keeps getting pushed every single year. It's the ones that never change, but they manage to tell you in different ways every year. That's what gets me to come back to Kamen Rider. So. Okay, let's see. Happen to have the Nendroid of Gridman on my shelf. However, I also have the original soundtrack of Gridman, the live action show. Ooh, Skyhound. Neat. That's really neat. I wish I had the soundtrack to that show. Aquatic, still looking to send you my O's model to print. Yes, please do. Shoot that over to me on Twitter, and if I can get it working, I will print it up for you, no problem. Assuming the model is all in working order. If I need to fix anything, I can do my best. But yes, definitely send me that. Okay, so, one more time, just so everybody knows, this is a non-spoiler stream chat. We are not talking about the newest episode of Kamen Rider. I don't want to know anything about it. Please, 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 do not talk about spoilers in the chat. If you guys start seeing people talking about the newest episode of Rider, tell them I would not be happy about hearing it, alright? Serious. Please don't talk about the newest episode of Rider. We're not here to talk about that. Maybe in a couple of weeks we'll do a big old spoiler stream on 01, but for right now, we are not talking about it out of the respect to the people who aren't watching the show as it airs, because I also understand a lot of people outside of Japan don't speak Japanese. Hey, Kevin, good to see you, buddy. You're seeing Tori later, but I want to wish you well on tonight's stream. Dude, thank you so much. Tell Tori I said hi. Give her a really, really big virtual hug for me, because I know hugging is probably still not a thing that we could do even out there. But definitely tell her I said hi. Let's see, what else did I miss on here? Do you think the ultimate form for Saber will be based on King Arthur and some sort of Arthurian legend? I would not be surprised if the final form for Saber isn't called something like Excalibur, which would be cool. I would love to see another... Oh my god, you guys! Oh, it just hit me. The belt, the fact that you could put a toy sword in there, what if they come up with other toy swords you could put in there, or other weapons that end up fitting in that thing to do different transfer? Oh my god. Why did that just hit me now? I've just been so stuck on they're only gonna do that one. And if they do only do that one, that bites. But like if they do the multiple thing like I just said, woo, that'd be cool. I want to see that. Okay, so that was a lot of fun. I'm gonna get back to talking about the 3D prints for just a minute because I got a couple things I want to share with you. So remember that Ichigo helmet? Now I was like, oh, don't have the back half of it. That's a bummer. And how I was like, it's not a bad model. Could use some work, but for $3, not too bad. Yeah. Let me show you a $40 model. This I haven't posted on Twitter about yet at all. This is Kamen Rider Ichigo, but this is the new version done in a clear red plastic. And it's still got a lot of under extruding issues. It's at a really rough draft quality print height. But I did all this helmet in under 12 hours, which that is ridiculous for 3D printing for full-size helmets. That really is. And this is just a test quality print. So I might go ahead and try and make myself a hard helmet one of these days. But Don and I were working on a show called Suiting Up with Don and Dusty, and I needed some better reference for making a paper pattern, because I really wanted to make a really good version of this. And with this in front of me, and like actually able to turn it and look at it, I'll be able to design this thing a lot easier than I would if I was trying to sit there and 3D model it. Something about freehanding just works better for me. So expect a cool Rider 1 pattern, helmet pattern here in the future. Go check out Marco Satsu's channel. That's where that stuff's gonna probably pop up. But here, I want y'all to get a good look at this. Like, look at that. In that translucent red plastic. It looks great. It's like I bet you flash a light on it like a headlight, it would look like a reflector from the back of your car or something. But here, so this is actually all printed in PLA. PLA is the easiest filament and plastic to print in. It's got a low melting temperature. It's rather durable once you get into a good amount of layers. It's rather inexpensive too, and it's got a wide range of colors. So give me just 1 second. Just gonna kind of, well, that might be a little bit more difficult now. All right, see if I can't get this. Oh, no, I think my ponytail's getting in the way too much. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm missing like entirely. Oh well, close enough. But yeah, see? It's a little bit big, but it makes sense. Like the original helmet, well, hold on. Sorry, it'd probably be easier to hear me if I'm not trying to talk through a giant sheet of plastic. So like, it's a little bit big, and it's not quite the size I would want it, but that's why it was really good to print this at a draft quality. And draft quality means it's just a lower resolution. It comes out bumpier looking, but that's fine. It's cool if you're just trying to figure out what size you want to use and you don't want to waste all your plastic trying to print the same thing multiple times at the wrong size. So I can rescale this and fit this to make it better for me. And I am just excited. I'm super excited. I just feel like it's a little bit too large, and the reason why it's too large is that in the original show that these were based off actual bike helmets, so there was some padding to it. And the jaw piece in the original show is separate. So when my head's in there, I can definitely feel like where the padding should be, but I still feel like it should be like maybe like a 1/4 of an inch smaller in every direction. Anyways, though, but like if I pad that thing out, put it on my head, and then I make my own jaw piece, and then good to go. And yeah, I'll show you all how to do that when we get over to suiting up with Don and Dusty, hopefully later this fall. All right, so this isn't the last thing I printed. I got something new, and we're actually going to start working on this here in a minute. I'm going to take a very short break after I share it with you, so I can prepare my materials, and then yeah, I guess I'll announce something that's coming up from me pretty shortly. So I got on my 3D modeling program, I use Metasequoia. It's a free program. You can pay for it if you want to, but you don't need to pay for it in order to do the stuff that I'm doing. So Metasequoia, it's completely free. It's a really good 3D modeling program for low poly to medium to high poly. You probably closer to low to medium, because eventually you're going to get to a point where you want to move stuff over to Blender if you really, really want it to be super smooth. But for the level of definition that I needed, I stayed medium to low quality, and that worked out fine for me. I made a new base helmet shape. Y'all remember that base helmet I put out a few years ago? It's okay. It was alright. It did well for a lot of people that were working on it and wanted to make their own helmets. Wasn't a bad first step, but I want to make a better first step for all of you. So, introducing the left side of the new base helmet. Hey! It's in this nice purple filament here. So you're gonna bring this a little bit closer so y'all can see. But it's a half of the helmet, but you can still see where the chin is supposed to be, where the back of the helmet is, top of it, side of it. It's just one half of it. And the only reason why I printed half of it is that I'm going to, on stream, show you guys how to make a new pattern out of this. And then that pattern I'm going to be putting out for free in a couple days. And I'm going to put it out a couple different sizes as a PDF, because I'm going to try to move away from doing the full sheet paper patterns and start doing PDFs, because it seems people just prefer them more. Excuse me. So this one has a lot of layer shifting issues. I'm going to show you, or not layer shifting issues, but under extrusion issues. You can see there's a huge hole right there. You can see straight through it. Pretty bad. And on the inside, it's a little bit rough too. But it's a low definition. It printed in 3 hours. And my favorite part about it, it's a perfect half helmet. Like, it fits my head rather well. It's a little bit tight for foam and stuff like that. But that's the magic of the way I do my patterns, is that I can scale my patterns after I make them. I just have to make them first. This is going to help me make a pattern that's a lot easier to use than, say, Pepakura, right? Like, I could have dropped the model I had on this in Pepakura, but it would have been a lot more strips I would have to do, and, like, I wouldn't have the free range of, like, how I want to cut it and how I want it to be laid out, and how I think a beginner would want to lay it out. So, with this, I'll be able to lay it out any which way I want. And then I can pass it off to you guys after I get all the different sizes worked out. So I think I'll probably put this one out, and this one would be the small or kid size. I think if I wanted to do a size for everybody else, like a standard medium size, I would probably go maybe an inch bigger all around, or maybe even just 3/4 of an inch. We'll see. So I'm going to show you guys how I do transfers. And what transfers are, it's what I like to call transfers. And what it is taking a shape, getting aluminum foil or plastic or whatever, covering that shape, taking tape, putting it on that shape, and designing a pattern based off the shape so you can cut it out, drop it flat, cut it out in foam, and have almost the exact same shape, just in foam. And we're going to do that with this method to make a new base helmet for everybody. So we're going to take a short break. I'll be back in maybe 5-10 minutes at most. Gonna use the bathroom, gonna get some water, and we'll be back. And we're gonna do some pattern making. Yeah. Alright, chat, I'll be back in a little bit. Bye.